In 2014, New York City transit officials had a problem they couldn't quite believe they had to solve. Grown men were spreading across 3 subway seats at once, knees wide, while someone's grandmother stood gripping a pole a few feet away. So the city did the only thing it could think of. It made a poster. The poster had a name for the problem: man-spreading. And it worked well enough to become a punchline on 3 continents. Madrid banned it on public buses. Seoul redesigned its seats to physically prevent it. A city had to engineer furniture around basic courtesy. That's usually where this conversation starts and stops, with a joke about knees. But underneath the joke is a much bigger question, and it's one most people answer without thinking twice. Is chivalry dead? In 2017, YouGov asked people in Britain that exact question. More than half said yes. And here's the detail that usually gets skipped. A majority of the women surveyed agreed with them. Fast forward to 2023. Pew Research finds that nearly half of Americans think dating has gotten harder over the last decade. Ask them why, and one answer keeps surfacing. Not romance, not chemistry. Effort. A basic, measurable collapse of it. Ghosting, breadcrumbing, situationships that drift for months without ever becoming anything. So the obvious question is why? Why did an entire generation of small, unglamorous decency just start disappearing? One answer comes from academia. Psychologist Peter Glick spent decades studying something he called benevolent sexism. The idea that old-fashioned gestures, holding a door, insisting on paying, however well meant, can quietly imply that women can't manage on their own. It's a real argument. A lot of serious people agree with it. But somewhere between the research paper and the group chat, that nuanced point got flattened into something much blunter. Stop doing anything nice for anyone. And that flattening is where the story usually ends. Here's what almost nobody says next. Maybe chivalry didn't die because men stopped trying. Maybe it died because trying stopped being worth it. Picture. The last time a man held a door, gave up a seat, carried something heavy up a flight of stairs, what happened next? Sometimes nothing. A blank walkthrough, eyes on a phone. Sometimes something sharper. It's the bare minimum. That's just what you're supposed to do. Search that phrase online, and you'll find thousands of posts built entirely around mocking men for expecting a thank you. And the point behind the phrase isn't wrong exactly. Basic courtesy shouldn't require a parade. Nobody's asking for applause every time an elevator door gets held. But you don't need a medal for this quietly turned into don't expect any reaction at all. And humans are not built to keep doing things that vanish into silence. Psychologists have a word for it. Extinction. A behavior that stops being reinforced eventually stops happening. It isn't a controversial theory, it's just how behavior works. Take away the thank you, and eventually you take away the gesture that earned it. So here's a theory worth sitting with. A lot of men didn't storm off chivalry in protest. They just quietly stopped, not out of spite, out of exhaustion. Thanklessness is one thing, fear is another, and it's heavier. Since 2017, the reckoning around consent and misconduct has forced a conversation that was long overdue. The Me Too movement exposed real abuses of power that had gone unpunished for decades. That part of the story isn't in dispute, and it shouldn't be. But alongside it, something quieter showed up in the data. A 2019 survey from leanin.org and SurveyMonkey found a striking number of senior male managers had grown hesitant to mentor, travel with, or even privately meet with female colleagues, specifically out of fear of how it might look. Some avoided one-on-one interactions with women altogether. This wasn't about the pay gap. It was about men doing quiet math in real time. Compliment a coworker's outfit, flattering or a headline. Offer to walk someone to their car after a late shift, kind or creepy, depending entirely on who tells the story later. Strike up a conversation with a stranger at a bar, confidence or harassment, same action, different day, different verdict. None of this erases the real risks women navigate, or the fact that false accusations remain a small minority of total reports. But statistics don't shape behavior. Perception does. And the modern man is left standing between two headlines. One says he doesn't do enough, the other warns that doing too much makes him a suspect. There is no rule book that satisfies both at once. So a lot of men picked the only option that felt safe. Do less, say less, risk less. Call it self-preservation, not laziness. In 2021, OpenTable surveyed daters and found that 74% said their date had been on their phone at some point during the meal. There's a word for it now: phubbing, phone snubbing, sitting across from someone while being functionally somewhere else. Picture that scene 100 years earlier. A man escorts a woman to dinner, sits down, and immediately buries his face in a newspaper. It would have ended the evening. Today, it's just Tuesday. But it's worth being fair here. Not everyone agrees chivalry is dead. Some argue it evolved, splitting the bill, equal effort in planning, fixing a flat tire together instead of one person doing it for the other. The argument goes like this: the old version of chivalry was mostly about optics, big gestures built to be seen. The new version trades the show for substance. That's a fair point. Maybe chivalry isn't dead. Maybe it just changed its name. But try telling that to a comment section. Every few months, the same debate resurfaces. Should a man pay on the first date, offer his seat to a stranger, walk someone to their car at night? And now a newer question has joined the pile. Should he even offer if there's a chance it gets misread? The replies split three ways. Obviously, that's just basic respect. Why does gender matter at all? And increasingly, why would anyone risk it anymore?